First of all, I want to say yes, I'm in jeans. I wanted to wear a suit. But some members of my family say, no, you are no longer, yeah. But my members of the family said no. Some members of my family said I should wear jeans. And I'm used to obey lawful instructions. So that's what I did. So, our chief guest, Mr. Andrew Musangi, Chairman of the Central Bank of Kenya. I know you are told all protocols observed, but there are few people I would like to mention. Of course, Kiprono Kitoni, Chairman of the Nairobi Stock Exchange, Securities Exchange, a man who has pestered me for more than 10 years to register this organization, and he admitted it. I also want to recognize Mr. August Mohammed, Chairman of the Capital Markets Authority. Before I go to ladies and gentlemen, I will talk about my family because they were left out and they are all here. Please, my family, stand up. That is my family. And you can see that the Kikuyu say, I'm rich in children. Thank you, sit down. So all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a very, very big day for me. The importance of the day forces me to reluctantly go down memory lane to remember how Family Bank was born. I then remember that article that I read in 1961, that is 65 years ago. This article I read was in an international magazine, either in Newsweek or Time magazine. I was then 18 years old, and I was in Form 2 in high school. Some particles, because I cannot read everything, some particles read, and I quote, some of the biggest banks and some of the biggest international organizations you see in the world today were all started by individuals, etc., etc. That statement was true then, as it is true today, as it will be true 100 years from now. It is as a result of reading that article that someone, you can read Titus Muya, decided that he will start a bank one day. For reasons I cannot narrate today, I was only able to start a building society. For reasons I cannot narrate today, I was only able to start a building society 23 years later. That is 1984. As to why 23 years later, and why a building society and not a bank is a story for another day. So we started a building society in 1984. Sorry to repeat that. Then today, in 1984, which I ran for 23 years before converting it into a commercial bank in the year 2007. Then today, 19 years later, the bank is listing at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Before that, it's not only Mr. Kitoni who has been asking when is the bank listing. Mr. Kiboro, the former chairman, will tell you that every AGM for the last 10 years or so, people were up in arms. When are you listing? When are you listing? You would guard me or protect my name by telling them the situation is right, the price is not right. So let us do it at the right time. I want to tell Mr. Kiboro today that the time is right and we are doing it today. I must state, however, that this has been a long, exhausting, and challenging, but exciting journey. It was not easy. We have had a lot of challenges, but we have not walked the journey alone. First, we have worked with our customers. For you, our customers, you are part of the story and the history of Family Bank. Without you, Family Bank would not be here. We are very grateful to you. We cannot thank you enough. Services to say thank you. The other group of people, I would like to thank them, and they have been thanked by the CEO, are the very loyal staff of Family Bank. Yes, the staff of Family Bank. And I want to remind you one of the most important things they did. And remember, we went through the challenges of NYS and the social media attack. And it is not Titus Muya or the board that worked and talked to the customers and told them that family was not going anywhere. So I would like to say that Family Bank staff have been loyal, committed, and have ensured that Family Bank continues to see the light of day today. Before we converted to become a commercial bank, we raised funds. And at that time, because we were building society, we were only able to raise some 600,000 shillings. That what we did, which is very important, was because we didn't have structures, I found myself appointing myself as the first employee, as the first CEO of the bank, and 2 years later, as the chairman, executive chairman of the bank. At that time, there were no regulations that you cannot hold 2 positions. I was holding almost 3 positions. Founder, general manager, chairman, first employee, and sometimes doing a lot of things. I was doing lending, I was the HR, I was sometimes the accountant, I was everything. But that is how you struggle when you start an organization. And what I did those days when I look back is what every entrepreneur does. You don't start a company and then you employ a very expensive CEO. You don't start a company and then appoint a very expensive chief accountant or operations manager, operations director. No, you start there and then you grow gradually. When I look back, I know we did not sometimes follow the structures. Even central bank sometimes was coming to tell me, look, you need a chief executive officer. You need an operations manager. But slowly I avoided all that. And because we were liquid, they did not then bother. But there were some institutions that ended up being closed because they were trying to do that and they had no alternative because they could not employ very expensive staff. I want my friends and the future entrepreneurs to know that when you start small, don't allow yourself to be too expensive, go slowly. Waswahili wanasema, Waswahili wanasema pole ndio mwendo, si ndio? Pole ndio nini? Hiyo ndio Family Bank ilifanya. I would like to thank the shareholders and stakeholders of Family Bank and investors, but I want to tell them that they must continue investing in Family Bank because this is their investment. There are times when some people invest in a company and then they go there, outside there, to do business with other companies. They are not helping their company to grow and be able to give them dividends on a regular basis. They just go, invest, and then look elsewhere. That is not very practical. I want to request that those who are our investors come and work and do business with us. Before I move from there, I want to go back. I have thanked our staff, but I want to tell them that remember this company is in your hands. Chairman Muema and we, the board, do not come and work in the company. This is not the time that Titus Muya was putting his hands or interfering with the management. The company is in the hands of the CEO and her management team and her whole staff. So what the chairman and the board can do is to pray for the staff, for God to give the staff the sight to know this company is in their hands and they should go ahead and develop it. But the main regulator of a bank is the Central Bank of Kenya, and the chairman of that Central Bank of Kenya is here, Mr. Andrew Musangi, our chief guest. We want him to know that even Central Bank gave us a lot of support in this journey of listing. Not to mention, Central Bank has always been our major advisor. That does not mean that we have always agreed with them. I know I have had fights with them here and there, but we have been friends. At the very end of the day, whenever I sobered up, I remember, hey, these people are the regulators. How can I afford to fight with them? And on that, I will take a swim. So, I want to thank the regulators and say we know that if it's not for them, we would not be listing today. With all those remarks, our guest of honor, my job for today is done. I'm very excited. I celebrate, I endorse, and I bless this listing of Family Bank at the NSC. But I want to say that this moment is not mine alone. It is for those who have supported and continue to support Family Bank. It is for those shareholders who have invested in Family Bank. It is for those stakeholders who have stood by us. I kindly ask you to join me in celebrating this major milestone of Family Bank. With those few words, thank you very, very much.